Hello and welcome to the Free Outside Show. This is one of the Cocodona preview episodes that I'm putting out there. Got a lot in store for you. Subscribe to my Substack, freeoutside.substack.com. And this episode, like all of them, it's video on Spotify, so you can listen to the audio only if you want. But if you go over to Spotify, you can watch it because we allude to what I'm wearing for this episode, which is very special. And also they're all on YouTube, so subscribe over there. Give me a 5-star review if you just have a second. It really helps out the show. Whatever platform you're on, I'll take it. All right, this is a preview episode of Cocodona. I'm going to do another one that'll also be good. This one is pretty fun and funny, and we also get into the hard-hitting question of could 100 men beat a gorilla in a fight? All right, this is with Derrick Lytle, who I think has covered the race for 5 years. I've run the race all 5 years, and I'm back for year 5. This will be 1,250 miles. I already have a 1,000-mile buckle. So this is with Derrick Lytle. Check out Juniper Lab on YouTube because he just put out a recap of Canyon's 100K, and just follow him on all the socials. All right, here we go. You try to get all your reactions recorded live to tape.
I mean, you got that pretty sweet, like Mr. T-shirt, maybe. I don't know.
I was trying to look like the embodiment of a dirt nap. I'm getting in the zone for Cocodona. How did I do? I tried to dress and look like a personal dirt nap
with gold chains. You are, was that like you're a shirtless shirt with gold chains?
Yep, this is it. Repping.
Dude, you should just wear that. Is that a John G shirt?
Yeah, this is the new John G logo. I don't know if I can announce it yet.
Yeah, I heard it's gonna be released at Cocodona, but you hear it here first.
Yeah, we gotta work in the ad breaks. This show's brought to you by JanJi, JANJI.com. You can get many shirts just like this.
Use code Garmeyer for 10% off, right?
Yeah, 10% of my shirt will come off. Yeah.
If we want that, that makes me want to buy negative shirts.
Okay, we gotta dive into this really hard-hitting question that's on the internet. So have you heard this thing going around? Could 100 men beat a gorilla, one gorilla in a fight?
I have not heard this, but I would say yeah. Like,
You
I could
think?
say, well, yeah. Like, is this like a fist fight or is it street rules or what are the rules here?
Yeah, no weapons, but one silverback gorilla versus
Oh.
100 men. I think like one guy gets his head ripped off and the rest just go running.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, because who it'd be like 10 guys to sacrifice themselves for the gorilla at first just to kind of get under control. Then they would all die. Then the other 90 can kind of like wave strike them. I don't know.
Is the move to tire the gorilla out? Like, do you just kind of run around and he'll pick them off one by one? But by the time there's like 30 people left, you can maybe go after him.
Have you ever seen a tired gorilla though? Like they have so much testosterone. It's probably more than 100 men.
Wow. Yeah. Especially 100 ultra runners.
Dude, exactly. Let's be real. We're in a low T sport. Any
I don't
endurance sport's pretty low T.
Yeah, I don't know. Man, you bring up some good points. I don't know if we could. That's just a lot of people versus one gorilla, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, you think about it like, okay, let's think about it mathematically. I went to a private school. I'm like really good at this stuff. So you have a gorilla, like how much surface area is around the gorilla? Like how many guys could even touch it? Like 5 at one time? That gorilla is stronger
5
than
to
5
10.
dudes. Okay, so 5
Yeah.
to 10, the other 90 guys are essentially useless. They can't do anything besides like intimidate the gorilla, which is just gonna piss it off.
Well, they're like camaraderie. They're like coaching the other guys.
They're like online coaches.
Yeah, exactly. They're like running coaches from afar.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's like actually a really good business idea. You can just like tweet encouragement to people. It's like $3 a tweet.
Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, it's like Cameo. Have you heard of that? Where you just like send a personalized message to somebody.
Oh
they
yeah, I've
pay.
seen that at events. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the OnlyFans for encouragement.
I know it's kind of like positive, I guess.
Yeah,
Kinda.
we should start this. We won't,
know.
but we should.
Yeah, well, while we're at Cocodona, if somebody sends me $5, I'll say words of encouragement to any runner I see. Like just
That's smart. Yeah.
start PayPal me money.
Yeah.
Or Venmo or whatever, Bitcoin.
Yeah, drop off $5 in cash. That works too.
Yeah, I prefer cash. Keep it under
Cash
the
is
table.
king.
Yeah, cash is always king. Gold's better, but I'll do cash.
So that tweet I think got like over 1 billion views on X the Everything app. So I had to bring it up because it's like that is a lot of men, but I still don't think they could beat a gorilla.
I don't think so, dude. Silverback gorillas are huge.
Yeah.
Like they're ginormous, and there's no way like a dude.
I think we're too smart too. Like we'd see 10 guys go down and then it'd be like, no way, not gonna keep doing this.
Yeah, like you'd just be okay, like the guy in front of me got his head ripped off, and the next guy, the next guy, the next guy, and the last like 50 would be like, no, screw this, I'm out. There's
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Like there's no way. Like were people arguing for the guys to win?
everyone's been on both sides, and I think all of it goes like they think the humans, the men, will win initially, and then they break it down, and then they're like, no way.
Yeah, there's no way. There's only one way to find out though. You
Yeah,
buy a silverback gorilla and pay 100 guys to fight it.
and this brings us to Jamil Curry announcing the next Aravaipa race in conjunction with the Juniper Lab and Free Outside. And we're going to have an arena. It's going to take place inside the loop at Javelina. All that territory goes while the 100 milers go.
The entire open desert.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. The desert might wreck the gorilla though. It's gonna be hot. A lot of pokey stuff out there. Guys can wear shoes, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't set the rules. Jamil has to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
And the winner gets free Chipotle for a year, I think is.
I don't know if that's worth it. You get 52 burritos and you see 99 of your friends die potentially.
Yeah, I mean, the
Or
gorilla
100.
would eat that in one day.
That's true. If it was like, what gorillas eat bugs and leaves?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't
Don't they
know.
like pick lice off each other or something?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Well, obviously we paid attention in school. All right.
I've never seen a gorilla before. What do I know? Like,
I don't think I have either. I
I've
saw
never
one in
seen it.
Tarzan, the animated movie.
Yeah, same. That's it. I've never seen a gorilla. I've seen baboons and they were terrifying and they're small. So a gorilla like 50 times the size? Yeah.
I saw Planet of the Apes. I know this does not go well.
Yeah, it's not gonna go well.
Once
That's a documentary. It's based on a real story.
Yeah, they came back from the future and told us what's going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
King
I think
cinema.
we should probably talk about what we're actually going to talk about. And it's 100 men versus a giraffe. Just kidding.
That's the real story here. That was the actual tweet.
Okay, Cocodona is coming up, and we're both going to be out there for some reason. And yeah, it should be pretty exciting. You're fresh off canyons. Have you done every American Golden Ticket race this year?
Black Canyon.
Not
Canyons.
run it, but covered it. Yeah.
What other ones are there? I guess
Javelina, Black Canyon, Canyons. That's it now, right?
Yeah, because Western States is kind of, I guess, you want to call it
Yeah,
that.
count that. Western
mean,
States.
I get 10 tickets there.
Yeah, and Gorge, they get red, white, and blue tickets.
Yeah, totally. I've done all the tickets this year. Now we got to do the Cocodona ticket.
Yeah, I don't know what we win. Maybe like a ticket to space like Katy Perry, like 11 minutes in space. I would accept graciously my free trip to space by winning Cocodona.
Dude, that'd be cool. It's worth it. But you have to
Yeah.
go as soon as you finish. You cross the finish line and they throw you in like a little wiener ship and you just go up into space.
And like you're stiffened up, but once you get up there in the zero gravity, it's just so good for your joints.
Maybe there's actually like primo recovery. Like we do all these things like massage chairs and food, whatever. It's really just go into space for 11 minutes and come.
Yeah, you don't need a heat train when you go to space.
Do you even need? Yeah, I guess you don't need to train. Like there's no gravity. You can't do anything. You just fall apart.
Yeah, it's a good point. There were those astronauts who were stuck in space for like a year.
Yeah, I heard they had like major issues when they came back. Like they couldn't walk.
Well, probably like the rest of their life in therapy thinking they get stuck in space for life.
Yeah, that's real PTSD right there.
Yeah,
It's trauma.
that is real issues. That is keeping BetterHelp in business.
Yeah, exactly. They can just listen to a podcast and get 10% off or whatever.
Yeah, man, BetterHelp should sponsor them. They're missing out.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, let's get
Cocodona.
into Cocodona 250. All right, it is getting crazy. I think it's going to be insane how popular it is just because the Courtney effect. And now we have 2 Western States winners running it. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah, Courtney and Ryan, right? Ryan Sands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think more people from like the shorter stuff are going to start doing 200s?
I think so. And I think it is partly because like we can call it the Cocodona effect because like, and to give her credit, like Candace kind of started the 200 craze in the US, but like, I think we spoke about this another time before, but like no one really cares about Bigfoot and Tahoe, to be honest. And it's really Cocodona and to a lesser extent Moab if it's an exciting race. But even if like Cocodona wasn't an exciting race, everybody would be watching the live stream the entire time. Like it's Cocodona.
Yeah, it's sort of like those 2 days of March Madness in basketball where everyone just doesn't work and watches basketball whether they care about it or not. That feels like Cocodona because it's 24/7 of just watching something that's live. And there's so much content out there, but there's so little live events these days that you can just do nothing and watch a live stream, and the chat is really the exciting part.
Yeah, honestly, like, so I've never really sat and just watched it because I've always been out there doing something. But like the chat every time I've gone on is like so entertaining and like watching from like day one, like at the ranch, and then like day 2 or 3, I kind of like tune in briefly and like seeing all these inside jokes that just evolved over the days is like pretty funny, honestly. Like it's a good little community.
So I really like when people jump in and ask about David Goggins and then how mad people get that someone asked about David Goggins. Like the initial joke isn't funny, but the reaction that they get is funny every time. Like if they just ignored it, it'd be fine. But the fact that people are actually mad about it is great.
That's like the ultimate trigger. It's like, do you know David Goggins?
Yeah. Is David Goggins winning?
He's probably gonna win this year. He's in my top 3.
Yeah, I had him winning.
Yeah,
Winning overall.
you
Yeah.
can't bet against him. He's David Goggins,
No.
dude.
He's so hard. Yeah.
He stays hard.
I think he's been hurt for forever. Maybe the last race he did was when he DNF'd Moab, but he still ran on the road or something.
I'm still confused about that story. I've been told multiple stories about it, and I'm like, well, he went to the hospital, but he dropped, but he didn't drop. He came back. He was allowed back, but he wasn't. But he finished the race, but he didn't technically finish. I don't know.
So the story I
Okay.
was told is he ran Moab, he got high altitude pulmonary edema, went to the hospital.
What, at like 5,000 feet?
Yeah, it's not
Wow.
even high up, but he lives in
Yeah.
like San Diego or something,
Okay.
or Vegas. And so he went there, and that's an automatic DNF for getting medical assistance, just like getting an IV. And then he was like, I'm too hard. I'm still going to finish this. I finish everything I start. And so he went back out to the course and just ran the road and was posting on social media and like went over and above the race. Like he was more popular doing that than the actual race. And so Candace was really pissed, and she's not really that good at things when she's mad at people, as we all saw last month.
We know. She airs her dirty laundry publicly, very
Yeah.
publicly.
So she was mad, but David Goggins has 10 times the audience she has, which is funny because she usually uses her audience like a weapon. And so
It's like the ultimate showdown. This is like Goggins was the gorilla and Candace was the 100 men.
yeah, that is weird.
That's a weird analogy, but we're rolling with it.
Yeah, it's like a bigger fish finally came up, and that's what took over. So,
Yeah.
and then he ran like 200 miles or whatever said he did on his watch, and that's sort of how it goes. He said he finished even though he DNF'd.
Good for him for sticking to it.
Yeah, good for him. Well, I don't know how we keep deviating into David Goggins, but he's bigger than 200s. So I did, to start us off, there's a bunch, like 5 different women have won 200s, which I thought was pretty awesome. I didn't look up the men because I ran out of time. So,
Okay.
but like Courtney Dauwalter has obviously won 200.
She's won Tahoe and Moab, right?
Yeah, I think so. She won Tahoe, won the women's side, and then Moab she won by like 10 hours
Yeah.
overall,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Wild.
And then Sarah Ostazuski has won at Cocodona.
Mhm.
And then,
and Moab 240.
yeah, yep, and Moab. And then Rachel Entrikin won last year. Hughes has won a ton of races, a ton of tunes. She basically wins every single one she enters and has a lot of the course records.
Mhm.
And then Allison Powell has won Divide 200. Maybe there's more, but that's all I found. It's really hard to find things like that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of information about all this, but that's a pretty
Yeah.
like just having like those 5 women running, it's like that's a competitive women's field for the top 5.
Yeah, I think it is pretty interesting that it's always been really competitive on the women's side, yet all of the films have been about the men.
Yeah, that was a good point. That was
So,
a good point.
but I think Free Trail's doing a film on the women at least.
At
So,
Cocodona?
just actually, maybe they're just doing it on Courtney. Oops.
I'm not gonna even comment. I didn't know either way.
Yeah, and then you're doing a film on the front, maybe?
Yeah, that's the plan. Things have swapped around recently, so during the 250, yeah, on the front, which could be a combination of men and women, so we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the course has changed this year. I ran a bunch of it. It's gotten harder, I think, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, let's talk about those course changes because, like, I've paced and crewed and filmed and pre-filmed, done everything out there basically besides run the route and like seen it evolve a little bit over the years and stuff. But like when you went and ran with John G, when you were down there for what was like a month ago or so, and you guys
Mhm.
pre-ran the route, basically, like, what was the difference in Sedona? Like, what was
So
the route change?
Sedona, you go up the Hangover Trail, which has a lot of exposure. It's on a bunch of slick rock and it climbs more, or steeper climbs, I guess. And then eventually you join that road, like Schnebley Hill Road, I think, near the top of it. So I think it's shorter, maybe a little bit shorter, but it is pretty brutal with the climbing and going on the slick rock too. You're just like on the side of it, the exposure is pretty intense. So if you're out there at night, hopefully you have a pacer with you.
Yeah, ideally.
Yeah, it's kind of rough. I didn't expect, because Callie Vincent was out there with the training camp thing too, and she was like, "Yeah, I've already done it. I'm not doing it. It's pretty steep, and there's a lot of exposure." And it was like, "Yeah, she's probably exaggerating." Get out there, and it's like, this is actually pretty good. It's like the type of trail where they just put white dots on the slick rock, and that's the route that you follow.
Yeah, I'm actually like, besides like the exposure and like just the difficulty of that trail in general, like desert navigating is just like a little bit different than like a standard like single track, say like in Auburn or whatever, where like you do have to follow those dots. Like in Moab, for example, is the same thing. And like if you're tired and like have never really experienced that before, it's really easy to get off route and then you're just like out there.
So
And
I did it in broad daylight a month ago, and I got off route a couple different times where it was like, okay, I got to pull out my GPS and see where it goes, because it'll just like switch back randomly down and you
weird.
miss it. And if you get off by one dot, you don't see the other one. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I don't think they can mark it because there's nothing to tie flags to. So you just got to follow the dots.
Yeah, it's literally just paint
Yep.
on the rock.
So I would say anyone doing it should probably just have their pacer pull out their phone and just keep an eye on it so that you know where you're turning, where you're going, and keep it figured out. I don't know. I like it better than the old course, which had the Kasner climb, which kind of sucked, but it's
Mhm.
also probably a mile and a half or 2 miles where it's going to hurt your feet. You're like side hilling on slick rock. It's kind of messy, but then you're through it. Then you're up on top, Munns Park, and you don't even climb again until Eldon.
Yeah, and then you also avoid a river crossing too, right?
Yeah, no river crossing anymore. I don't think you're gonna have to get your feet wet the entire time.
What about leaving, like going through the Verde River between Jerome and Dead Horse?
You are gonna have to get your feet wet one
Yeah.
time.
Here one time.
Yeah, yeah. I guess other than okay, it's still a race including some swimming. It's basically a triathlon.
Pretty much. If we bring guns, it can be a triathlon for sure. Like a
Yeah,
biathlon,
like
but
a
add some swimming.
triathlon, shooting, wading, running.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Shooting, waiting, running. Yeah, that's the name of the game.
Yeah. Speaking of shooting, that's a really bad segue because I was going to talk about the endangered owls. There's two sections where you can't have a pacer now. So you start and you can get a pacer in Prescott. And then from Foxborough Ranch, which is basically the top of that climb out of Sedona, until Munns Park, which is 16 miles, I think 16 miles, you can't have a pacer. And then one of the harder underrated sections from Tut Hill to Walnut Canyon, you can't have a pacer. And that's where everyone loses their mind. So I think this is a really underrated and under talked about thing, because you're going to like give up control, be hallucinating, and then all of a sudden you're going to be on these sections alone.
Yeah, because you're basically 2 days in at that point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 212 miles to 230 miles. Yeah. You're going to be 2 days in if you're at the front. If you're at the back, even longer. So
Yeah, that's interesting. No one's spoken about that. It's the first I've heard of
because,
it.
yeah, I think with good pacers and crew, you can stay reasonable no matter how you're feeling, as far as maybe you'll give up a minute a mile. But if you can't motivate yourself, you can't figure out what's going on, you might lose 10 minutes a mile. You could lose like 3 hours to somebody on that 20-mile section.
You totally could, and then you factor in, like, if you're already feeling like garbage and tired and, like, unmotivated, it's also gonna be cold. Like, the weather's
Yeah.
gonna be crazy this year. Or not like crazy as in gnarly, but just a complete opposite of what it normally is, in my opinion.
The high for the entire course might be 72 degrees. That's
Yeah,
insane.
which is nuts. Like, and that's, like, day 1, right?
Yeah, and maybe day one. For some of the people at the back of the pack day one, it
Mhm.
might touch 70. It's gonna be 30 degrees overnight that first night in the
That
desert.
that's gonna be awful, and I checked the weather, granted, it's still, like, a week out, but, like, it might rain in Prescott too. Like, there's some rain in the
Prescott
forecast.
and Sedona might have rain.
Yeah, which makes it a challenge, like, also for crew and pacing and stuff too, because like, there's so many dirt roads that, like, I don't know, it's just getting to places.
It's a good point. I didn't even think about that. I was more thinking that instead of an extra liter of water, you're gonna have to like take a rain jacket and pants.
Yeah. Or you could take less water and just bring like a straw, just like siphon water out of the air.
Yeah, exactly, like a funnel maybe, and
Yeah,
just
just run with the
funnel it
funnel.
down. Well, I think that the weather, and especially if it rains, is gonna really play into the people with experience as well. I think that
Mhm.
it's a really hard 200s are really rough. Even when I'd done FKTs that were multiple weeks long, my first time at Cocodona was pretty eye-opening of like, this is a totally different world. So I don't know. There's a lot of fast people who've never run 200s, and we'll see how they do out there.
Yeah, like just thinking about that, like Ryan Sands is won Western States, and I don't know what else he's done, honestly. Like he he's kind of like fell off the radar for a while, but like he's fast, obviously. He won Western States, and like I don't know, like there's a lot of like fast talent going. Like DJ Fox, I interviewed him the other day on my channel, and like he's been putting in speed work. It seems like a lot of people have been putting in speed work. Is I guess basically what I'm getting at, which is like okay, yeah, like 200s are getting fast, and like people are doing more like and Mike McKnight too. He's been doing speed work. He's trying to get faster. It's like, how is that gonna apply to Cocodona? Like it's crazy. Like, I know obviously it does. That's kind of a rhetorical question, like, but it does. So
Yeah, I mean, Mike McKnight's been doing high rocks, so when his feet are covered in mud, I think he's going to be really strong at getting through that adversity.
yeah, and then the DJ's a Spartan obstacle course racer. So like he's used to like crawling under barbed wire and stuff and electrical cables. So if a power line goes down, dude, he's gonna be totally set. He's gonna pass
If a
everybody.
gate won't open, he's the guy. Between the two of them, they're going to get that thing open.
I asked Mike what IROX was, and he was like, "It's like a cross between like CrossFit and running." I was like,
Isn't that just CrossFit?
I'm like, that is CrossFit."
I think every CrossFit got so much crap and so many jokes, they just rebranded to High Rocks.
I think that's what it is. But he told me that like those communities don't like each other. It's like pickleball and tennis. They hate each other. I'm
Do
assuming,
they know
anyways.
the rest of us don't even know the difference?
No, it's like people ask like, how was your marathon? How was your 12-mile marathon? You're like, oh, it was great. Like people don't
Yeah,
care about running.
exactly. Well, it'd be like if North and South Dakota had a war and the rest of us would be like, I don't even know the difference.
Yeah, like, it's like the same place. Like,
Yeah,
what's
like High
what's
Rocks and CrossFit. Yeah, we hate each other. We're like battling. It's like, how do you know who's on what team?
yeah, because you all look the same and dress the same.
Yeah, I mean, does one just work out in like a big convention center and one's in a garage? Is that the difference between
I think that's the
High
difference.
Rocks and
One
CrossFit?
has really big tires, and the other one has like a sled you push with no
Yeah,
tires.
I even hate that they just did High Rocks and put an X in it too. It just looks so broy.
Like, what else would it be? Hyro?
High rock, high rock, high
High
rocks.
rock. I thought it was like hydro at first. I'm like, "Is it like a water sport? Like, you just swimming out there? Like, a bunch of naked dudes swimming around?"
Like a year ago, someone reached out to me about coaching them for High Rocks, and then I saw how many exercises and like little stations were involved, and it was like, yeah, I am not going to learn all of these individual things, the time frame to do them, what's expected, the terminology. I am not your person to coach this.
No. Like, specificity matters, and I don't have it.
Yeah, it was one of those emails where it's like, I gotta look up what this even is before I respond
Yeah.
because I don't even know what you're asking. So
Like
for all you high roxers out there, we don't care, but welcome to the ultra running community or the FKT community, whatever you're in.
sure.
Yeah, I guess. Gravel biking,
Oh,
maybe. What was
no.
that? Is there still that biking thing where you have to like carry your bike a little bit?
Yeah, like cyclocross or something.
That's it. Yeah, is that still a
Yeah.
thing?
Yeah, people talk about it all the time, but I've never watched it because it sounds dumb. But, like, I also don't watch road racing because 'cause I'm like, "You're just riding on the road." Like, I don't care.
So I feel like CrossFit, some of those people went into cyclocross and then High Rocks started and then they jumped into that.
Once you, like, hurt yourself riding a bike, you can get into high rocks.
Yeah, you move back into the CrossFit adjacent.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of Cocodona,
It's not even coming out though, like, Mike is really fit right now, though, like, going back, like, to the men's side, and, like, he even though he has been doing a lot of CrossFits or high rocks, sorry, whatever, but, like, he has been running a lot, like, and building his mileage. He's been doing 100-mile weeks, and he's getting faster, and when we were talking, like, I'm gonna post his interview on Wednesday. Wait, what today's Wednesday? Thursday, but we spoke about how, like, he's taking logistics more seriously this year because he's something he's always, like, kind of been bad on in the past, and he's, like, just getting faster, and just overall, he's, like, just stronger. And I think that, like, with all his experience, like, he could be even though we all we do joke about him doing high rocks all the time. It's like, yeah, like maybe he has a really strong foundation ready to go there.
Yeah, I'm really curious, especially because it is one of those years where it's going to likely have a ton of adversity with no
Mhm.
pacers, weather, things like that. And he has as much 200-mile experience as probably everyone except for maybe Mika. And so I think if he's in the right headspace, that's going to be pretty interesting. I think he can grit it out with anyone. I also think he can decide to not grit it out with anyone too. So he's kind of the wild card.
Yeah, and speaking of pacers, he's going pacer free this year.
Yeah, he will not have to do a section where he drops off a pacer because he won't have any.
Yeah. I'm actually pretty stoked for him to like simplify the process instead of like over analyzing, overthinking everything. I think he's realized that like he needs to kind of whittle things down and just focus. And like I want to see how that plays out for him because I think that's going to be a huge advantage for him personally, at least against himself, that he's going to do better because of that, where it simplifies the process. He knows what he's doing already. He's done these a million times. Now it's like just execute the thing and just get it done and not have to deal with like, I don't know, a whole fanfare of everything.
Yeah, and Mike McKnight's really interesting because at his first High Rocks competition, he like accidentally qualified for nationals or something.
Yeah, like worlds or something. Like,
Worlds, yeah,
yeah, it's like
whatever.
crazy.
Yeah. And so that's like a month after this, and he just had to like sort of train for both. And maybe that's going to be helpful, but it's just sort of funny. It's like you'd show up to a marathon and accidentally run the Olympic qualifying time.
Yeah, you show up to like Houston running 2:17. You're like, oh, I guess might go to the Olympics. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like, shoot, well, I was booked for the qualifiers, but I guess I'll run them. I'd planned to do a skateboarding competition that week, but I guess I could.
No, yeah, I was gonna go to the Vans Warp Tour skateboard contest or I don't even know. That's a music concert thing. I don't know.
I mean, he's definitely got to be one of the most diverse athletes in the field. That's kind of incredible. It's like bodybuilding meets Cocodona champion.
Yeah, I'm honestly really curious about it because like I've seen a lot of people recently doing a lot more strength training and like okay, like granted, like you have to be able to run fast, but like how does that strength aspect play out in something this long? Like we're maybe not so much in 100, but like when you're out there for 2.5 days or whatever, like is that just gonna increase your durability or are you gonna break down sooner because of the extra muscle mass? Like I have no idea.
I think that's been the debate for like 100 years, where they used to tell runners like don't lift because it's more to carry
I
and it'll
know.
wear out your body. And now it's back to you should lift, you should cycle, you should diversify what you're doing so it's less running volume. But it's, I don't know, kind of funny because it's flip flopped multiple times in
Yeah,
history.
it kind of seems like with everything. Like the other day, I had to print off a bunch of papers, and I saw a kid wearing Jinkos, full on like corduroy Jinkos, and I was like, I did that when I was in middle school, and here he is wearing Jinkos. So things have gone full circle everywhere.
Yeah, and for strength training for runners, it's amazing because it's like Jeff Browning did it when it wasn't cool. He did it when it was cool. Then he did it when it wasn't cool again. And now it's cool again. So
Yeah,
he just did it through like 3 cycles of it.
I mean, obviously he's like n=1, but it's like look at where he is. He's in 53 or something now, and he's still running. Like he took second at Cocodona last year against how old is Harry? Like 30?
Yeah, he's still winning hundreds. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's pretty mind blowing, honestly. So I don't know if that's proving the point, but like it's working for him anyways.
Yeah. So we'll see. It'll be the year of seeing if strength pays off.
Yeah, because speaking of that too, DJ Fox, like I don't know if I don't think he's gonna win, but he is like an obstacle course racer and he's ran the Colorado Trail. And he's
Yeah.
strong, like
Do
physically just
you
like strong.
do you think he's gonna like get to one of those gates and just hurdle it instead of taking the time to unlock it?
He probably will, honestly. Like why not? Or just crawl under it. Like, oh, it's muddy and barbed wire, I'll just crawl under it.
I think that's the move. I think that's what he's gonna do.
Like mix up the muscle group a little bit. Like go from like a full on run to like an army crawl. Like just chuck your pack over, crawl underneath.
Yeah,
Oh, use
that'd
your
be
arms for a
sweet.
minute.
Like
For a sec.
throw it, roll under, catch it, keep running.
Yeah, dude, that'd be sick. I'll film that.
Yeah, maybe you can just film it on Sunday and then just plug it into the movie you're making.
That's a good idea.
So
What is
isn't your goal to make a film and then put it out while the race is still going on?
Yeah, that's the plan. Uh,
That would be sick.
I mean, if you guys are gonna go run for 2.5 days, I can at least like have a video out in 2.5 days. Like, come on. Like, what else am I doing?
I don't know, probably a lot of driving and sleeping.
Yeah, yeah. I actually get pretty tired really fast. And you gotta stay
Okay,
awake while driving.
how do we think the race is gonna play out? Because I think it's gonna be all centered around Courtney.
I think so too. Like, and for good reason. But I'm saying for my female picks, Courtney, Sarah, Mika.
That's really going to be disappointing for listeners because I had the same thing, except I had Courtney, Mika, Sarah. So I actually think those three are quite a bit better than everyone else. So I don't think fourth will be that close.
You don't think Rachel will pull in a strong fourth?
I think maybe it'll be like Georgia, Rachel,
Oh,
some other people. There's a lot of
yeah.
other good people, but I think those three are kind of next level what they've done recently.
Yeah, that's a good point. And like I thought a lot about Georgia too, because she ran the Arizona Trail, and like that was super impressive. But like, even though it's way longer, it's not the same thing as like 250. It's like this is very different.
Yeah, and I think just with this year, colder, possible rain, Courtney in the field, I think you really have to have a ton of experience and be good with a bunch of logistics and issues that are going to come up because I think it's going to be just like the first year almost where if the trails are muddy, you are going to be so slow. It's going to be frustrating. You're like everything is going to go out the window if it starts raining and you have like a pound of mud on your feet.
Yeah, desert mud sucks.
Yeah, I've run
Yeah.
it the last 3 years in road shoes, and this year I'm running it in trail shoes just because I think rain is gonna be actually a factor.
Yeah, no, I think that's smart. Like,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I think Courtney's gonna take off with probably the front of the men, and then we'll see what happens. I think it's gonna be like Courtney, DJ Fox, and Dan Green, just Robin Hood and Little John running through the forest, and then
Mhm.
they're gonna fall off quickly when they realize it's not a fast race.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid prediction there.
I think Dan Green is going to set the Strava segment record for 2 Lane Mountain, and then we'll come back quickly to the rest of the field.
I'm gonna be boring and disagree with you. I think you're right.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll go first for my picks. I think I'm gonna win because I have to bet on myself.
Yeah, you can't bet against yourself. That's bad
Yeah,
luck.
exactly. And then Harry's gonna get second, so that'll be really good for John G. And then Ryan Sands, I picked in third because that'd be pretty cool if he's like 10 years after his Western States win
Ah,
to
man,
get.
that would be pretty cool. It's like, are you washed up? Nah, I just won Cocodona 250, but in a South African accent saying that.
Yeah, actually, it's 8 years after Western, but still.
Still, I bet like most people who started running the past few years have no idea who he is.
Yeah, because South African, he runs for Red Bull.
Yeah,
So
and Solomon still. So
actually, I guess it's Cocodona. So now he walks for Red Bull.
he's a professional race walker.
Yeah, yeah, Solomon and Red Bull. So basically the Debo of South America, I guess.
No comment.
Who did you have on the men's podium here?
I mean, I debated this one pretty heavily because I think there's like 6 or 7 guys that can realistically win, to be honest. But I picked you, I picked Mike, and I picked Mac.
Wow. Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about Max.
Yeah. So, and I'm picking that because I know you're in good shape and you have experience. Mike is in great shape and has experience. And then Max he's really fit right now and he's won Moab 240.
I've shared miles with Mike out there. Maybe we can just link up and conquer this course.
I mean, you could pace off each other like draft and stuff.
So the secret weapon that he has and I also have is we live where it's cold and it's been cold all winter.
Yeah.
And now it's actually going to be cold at Cocodona. So that's
Dude,
good.
that is a good point. Max lives in Southern California
Yeah.
and it's not been cold there. I guess it snowed in LA recently, but
He's
um,
soft. Yeah, that's what
ye-
we're saying.
yeah. Also, speaking of Southern California, though, like I had Jesse Haynes on there as well. He won Moab 240 against Jeff Peltier in an epic battle. And I think he's one of those old guys, not old guys, but like old school guys that's been in the sport for a long time. And like he may not be like the most well known, but he's fast and reliable. Like
Yeah.
he's just like strong and he can suffer. Like he's placed top 10 at states multiple times. He's just like he's just a guy that can suffer through anything. But he is from Southern California though, so he's probably soft.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Speaking of soft, this guy's not soft, but Jack Scott has no results on Ultra Sign Up, but he won the spine race in, where is that, the UK?
Yeah.
And
Was it
so he won that in like 73 hours. So that's pretty impressive.
Ooh, was it the winter version or the summer version?
That is a really hard question to answer on the spot. Who does Joe Rogan have? Jamie? Jamie, look that up.
Look that up, Jamie.
So
Yeah,
an article about it came out in January. So probably the winter one.
okay. Yeah, that was miserable then. Like that looks like the worst race on the planet.
He runs for Innovate.
Okay.
which is probably one of those brands that everyone across the pond makes fun of how we say it because I just innovate. I don't know.
How would you say it in a
Let's
British accent? Like Innovat, something stupid?
innovat.
Innovat. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he's sort of a dark horse where I I don't know. No one knows anything about him.
I mean, if he won the spine, like that's legit. And
Yeah.
in the winter as well, so it wouldn't even be cold. He's probably running shirtless out here.
Yeah, like shirtless guy at Gorge.
Yeah, dude. He did okay. Didn't win, but he did
Yeah.
okay.
So other people that we haven't said, Michael Versteeg is back running again.
Mhm.
So that's impressive, I guess. I mean, he seems to be tough. He'll probably drop out though.
He's either gonna
Oh,
like
this will be good for our SEO. Cam Haynes is running.
oh, I forgot Cam Haynes is running. Cameron
Yeah.
Haynes of the whatever podcast. I mean, he'll probably just hunt food while he's out there, so he's not gonna win. But like,
Do you think he's bringing a bow and arrow?
dude, he better bring a bow and arrow. Like, if he doesn't, like, why even run Cocodona? Like, you're Cameron Haynes.
Yeah, lift, run, shoot. He's going to do a party pump at the start line. He's going to run up the hill, shoot a javelina on the way, cook it at Crown King, continue on his way.
This is the Cocodona triathlon. You have the deadlift 450 at the start line, run to Crown King, shoot a javelina, grill it up there, and then, I don't know, take a shot of whiskey at the saloon.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, his son has won or run like 3 marathons in the last month, all in jeans, and he runs like a 2:30 marathon.
Like, that's
Isn't that
pretty
insane?
impressive. Like,
Yeah.
where
He
do you
also
buy
has he beat David Goggins in the pull-up Guinness World Record too. His
really?
son. Yeah.
No, dude, he's legit.
Yeah.
son
I'm gonna
is
clip
doing-
this and put it out there and tag him. Maybe he'll repost it.
Maybe.
His name is Truett Haynes. Impressive. There. Completed the soundbite.
There you go.
That
Honestly, that is really impressive.
soundbite brought to you by GarageGroundGear.com. Okay, I got the second sponsor in. We're rolling.
Yeah, garagegroundgear.com. My favorite. Never heard of it before.
Yeah, it's Garage Grown. It's like small businesses and stuff.
Well,
Yeah,
cool,
I don't
yeah.
really see anyone else that we didn't mention. Oh, Kevin Russ, of course. He Chipotle runner up.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's just going to fuel with Chipotle the whole time. There's only like 2 along the course. So you can get
Yeah.
Chipotle in Sedona and Chipotle in Flagstaff. So he's going to be rough.
Okay, let's do the math. Let's say it's 1,000 calories for that, and you need like, I don't know, 25,000 for the whole race. So you got to get just 25 burritos. Could you make it work on that?
I don't know, but he's going to max out his burrito supply for the year because we're already going to be in May. He's gone through like 20 already.
That would be sick if he bought all 52 just for Cocodona.
That would be
And
pretty
that's
rad.
all he ate.
He's like, I got a pork burrito, I got carnitas, I got the carne asada, get some sofritas for variety. Maybe I'll try
His
that new-
nutrition plan is just each aid station and what flavor burrito he wants.
Yeah, do the easiest for the crew.
Yeah.
And then he has like a variety of like Chipotle drinks, like whatever they have, like Coke and I don't know what else they have there. Sprite.
I don't know. Lemonade, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe a lemonade tea or something. That's all he has the whole time. And he just wears
Yeah.
a Chipotle logo on his shirt.
Yeah. Okay, I have
mean-
one last storyline before we wrap up. So Andy Jones Wilkins is running, but that means that they're losing like 60 hours of broadcasting. So how is Airfipa going to fill in for that?
That is a great question.
The story isn't that he's running. I mean, that's cool. But it's just that the live stream is losing someone who would just stay up because he was so good at talking.
Who else? Bryce isn't going to do that. Bryce is going to be out
No.
on course.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
know. Is there anyone in the sport who can talk that much?
Not even Chris Warden can do that.
Oh, no. Yeah. Andy Glaze can talk that much, but he's running, obviously.
You just give Andy a microphone and you can just like, he just live broadcast the whole way.
Put a Starlink in his pack and give him a microphone. That would be amazing. They
That'd
would
actually be
triple
pretty
the
cool.
size of the sport.
Oh, that'd be rad. We should totally do it.
Yeah. I don't even know how they're going to fill, because they do like 125 hours of broadcasting.
Oh,
so.
dude, they just get Browning on there. He could tell stories for like days. And they're actually good
Yeah.
stories.
I had him on the podcast and it was like an evening recording. And it was like getting to be late at night. And it was like, okay, I'm like going to go to bed. Dude, can we like be done doing this? This is awesome, but we're going forever.
Oh, dude, he's like such a good storyteller, but he also is a night owl. Like every time I'm at
Yeah.
their house, I'm like, I'm so tired. And they're like, we're gonna watch a movie. I'm like, it's like 10:30, and they're all just awake, like just living the dream. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I
Does
can't-
their house get up really late too?
Yeah.
That's always annoying because you're at someone's house and you're like, do I have to walk around quietly? Can I make coffee? What do I do here?
Just lay in bed. and like don't make a noise
Yeah.
until you hear noises downstairs.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
exactly.
like when you're like a kid having a sleepover or something.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Uh,
that's all I got. I don't know anyone else. I know a lot of other people, but we don't have to go.
yeah, I mean, I guess notably like String being dropped out, right? Because he won a ticket at Black Canyon.
And
Uh,
Jamil was going to run it, but he has other plans.
eat Chipotle and live stream or something.
Yeah, he's running Western for Hard Rock. Western, both.
I don't know actually. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
We can close on this. I'm going to look him up really quick.
okay.
Jamil Curry. Here we go. He's running the Mingus Traverse at Cocodona,
Wait, that's
which
like
is like
the
the
100.
125, the new one.
Okay,
And then he's doing Western States, and then he's doing Hard Rock.
that's a full spring summer.
They call it the Triple Crown of Ultra Running, the inaugural Mingus Traverse, and then Western States and Hard Rock.
And two of the most like acclaimed hundreds out there, and then like a brand new race.
Yeah, exactly. So can't wait to see him out there.
Uh,
All right. Well, we'll see you out there. I guess I'll probably get there on Sunday. I don't think we can camp anywhere on Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not starting
Still
my drive
waiting on
down.
Still waiting on a watch. I've had a pacer break his leg, a crew person drop out, my watch break. But that's all really good because nothing more can go wrong. I've prepared for it all.
I mean, my life hasn't been that bad, but like luckily all my projects fell through, so I can film whatever I want. So
I know you had at least 2 projects that I know of that, like, within a couple days of them happening, canceled.
yeah. Speaking of, go to my YouTube channel and watch my canyons video because I did that on my own time. So
Yeah.
and it was
So
fun.
Canyons 100K, Juniper Lab, and you
Look it
can
up.
watch Gorge 100K and Black Canyon because we did those on our own dimes.
Um,
It was like quarters, actually. Things are expensive, our own quarters.
Things are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna shoot a video at Cocodona, like you were saying earlier, and hopefully have it done that week by the end of the race. So watch for that. That's the
So I'm
plan.
going to finish first and win. You're going to make a video about the winners, and I'm going to put out a recap podcast before the final finisher of Cocodona about my victory. And you're going to put out a video of whatever you want. That'll
I
be
mean,
great.
why don't we just like do the winning podcast with you as you're leaving Buff Park? Like as you're
Oh, that
running
would be
through Flagstaff.
so sick.
Jeff, how does it feel to be winning Cocodona 250? And then like right then Harry will pass you.
It'll be like,
That'd be amazing though.
okay, bring your on the go podcast setup.
I'll put my Starlink in my backpack like we were just talking about. I'll just carry my computer with me. I
That would
could
be incredible. The last 3 miles. I mean, or it would be terrible. I mean, it's basically the content that Free Trail's putting out.
That's true. It'd probably be pretty awful in a lot of ways. Like terrible sound quality. You're not there mentally. Terrible video quality.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just
Oh,
do it right
well.
after. As soon as you finish, we'll do one. We'll just sit down.
While I'm getting my after photo.
Exactly. Howie will love that. Or whoever's doing photos is you're speaking while getting a picture taken.
Yeah. I mean, the plan is to finish at like 4 p.m. So I won't have anything to do the rest of the day.
I mean, that'd be a perfect time. We won't be able to go to sleep. So like, let's do like a right then podcast. We'll go live.
Yeah. I was going to write up a quick Substack. I was going to go live.
Write up some tweets, maybe edit some
Yeah.
photos I took along the way.
Make some TikToks, pull together a YouTube recap.
Just, just a light day at work.
Yeah. Jump into some athlete coaching files and respond to some comments there.
I mean,
It'll
you
be a
have
good
to.
day.
Yeah, you get that engagement by responding to every comment.
Yeah, I put my out of office is only for 59 hours. So I better finish by then.
I have to reply right now because my out of office emails are done.
Yep. All right. We're off the rails enough. I think we're good.
All right.
All right.
It really would though, like that night they'll put up a podcast like right after it's done. Like that'd be pretty incredible. Instagram is Derrick Lytle. You should link to my YouTube channel in the comments or the description. Juniper Lab, race videos, nutrition stuff, and Cocodona video soon to be.
All right. We did it. Stay elite, my friends.